Well, welcome back to the program, everybody. Glad you joined us here on TNT. And today, I'm going to be talking about something that my wife highly suggested that I go ahead and pick up. You may have seen one of my previous videos trying out the new Cowboy Barbecue, and that thing, oh, those steaks and those potatoes were so good. And we're definitely looking forward to having many more family barbecues out here at the farm. But there's something else that we've been missing, and we figured that out when it was time to eat. And that was a picnic table. So we really need a place outside where we can sit down as a family and enjoy eating some of those barbecues or picnics that we have out here. We do have a bunch of company coming here in a few weeks that we're very much looking forward to, and we need a place for their butts to sit as well. So my wife said go get a picnic table. And she gave me some recommendations, but I'm just going to take you back in time. When I was a kid, we always went with the traditional wooden picnic table. You can see these stacked up outside of Lowe's, Home Depot, and they really are probably the best value for the money. But they always get shorter, don't they? So the legs of the wooden tables, you'd always find yourself cutting them off where they rot, and cut them off and cut them off. Eventually your table's so short it's hard to stand back up and get out of your seat. And that's very much an option. Those things last a long time, especially the pressure treated ones, which they all are today. Our weather's not all that bad here, so we probably could have got a lot of good years out of a standard wooden picnic table. But my wife's recommendation was something a little bit different. She highly suggested getting this picnic table type, which is all metal, coated in rubber. The tops are like an expanded metal with like a gel coating, a protective coating on them. They come in great colors. You've probably seen them in parks. Very commercial grade and guaranteed to last a long time. And they come at a very pricey price point as well. So I was definitely looking at those, and I was looking at one that she highly recommended, and I actually had it in the checkout box on their website and was ready to purchase it when all of a sudden it calculated the shipping, and shipping was like $600 and some. So I said, I'm not going to do that. I can't afford to take that much of a hit, although we'll get to the hit in a minute. So I started looking for places in Louisville that sold them, or sold something similar, and I could go pick it up at the trailer, but I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything in Louisville. And finally, my daughter was mentioning she really liked the poly tables. And it turns out there's a place in Shelbyville, which is near the farm here, that sell the poly tables. So on Saturday, I went out there and I took a look at the poly tables, and I ended up purchasing one. So let me show you what I got. So if you're wondering what a poly table is, think of a lot of folks these days have something like Trex deck instead of wood deck decking out at their house or at their patio. And this is made from the same type of material. So it's a composite plastic material. And this one is kind of a reddish color and black, which is different red, but still goes pretty good. But instead of wooden members, you can see here, these are like plastic 2x4s. And this would be the equivalent up here of a plastic 1x6 or 3/4 by 6 inch. And unlike my deck, this is very smooth to the touch on top. The other thing I was impressed with, other than the entire construction is made from this polyboard that is guaranteed not to rot, is that every one of the screws, and if I can get down there to that carriage bolt, and every one of the fasteners is stainless steel on this. So those won't rust either. Now, if you're like myself, you're wondering, is this thing going to sag under the weight of people sitting here eating, or more likely over time, in the heat of the sun, given that it's a composite plastic material, is the table going to sag and droop? And I'm hoping they've successfully addressed this. I mean, this thing's been sitting outside when I went to pick it up. It's perfectly level. But over time, what did they do to keep this thing from warping in the heat and the sun? Well, here's a look underneath of the table. In this case, we got a 6-foot version of the picnic table. And you can see the legs, the table, and the seats are reinforced with aluminum angle. So it's got aluminum angles to reinforce and keep its rigidity and shape. 2 for the tabletop, 2 for each of the seats. And then each of the legs is also reinforced with aluminum angle. So I'm thinking that's probably going to do the trick to help this thing maintain its shape over the course of years of sunshiny days. But yeah, this is a poly table. If you've never heard of one or thought of one, and you need a picnic table, this is a viable option. Now, where I picked up mine isn't a chain. It's a place that makes little miniature sheds and barns. It's apparently an Amish-run business. And it came with a free jar of jelly from the Amish lady that sold me this picnic table. But let me get this flip back on its feet, and I'll let you know what you can expect to pay for one of these things. So like I was mentioning at the beginning of the video, I didn't go with the option that my wife picked, the commercial grade expanded metal top, kind of that rubber coating, because it was too expensive. And I'll put up on the screen how much those typically run. I ended up paying similarly for a poly table. I did save on the $600 to $700 in shipping because I went and picked it up, but that was essentially the only option I had locally. That was a product that was going to last hopefully a little bit longer than a standard wooden table. And what I ended up paying was $1,204 for a 6-foot poly table, so it certainly didn't come cheap. And we better take advantage of it and enjoy it a lot for that price. But at the end of the day, I'm pleased. It somewhat matches the barn. It's going to be easy to clean and maintain, and it shouldn't rot and it shouldn't sag with all that reinforcement, and we can enjoy it for years and years to come. And when our company comes here in a month or two, we will have a comfortable place where they can sit and wait for me to finish barbecuing them something delicious. But anyway, I thought I would share with you something you don't see every day, or you may not think of as an option when you're thinking about outdoor furniture. Oh, they do have chairs too, and they are super comfortable to match. $500 a piece, so we're not going to get a couple of those chairs this year, but maybe in the future we'll get a set to match. But they're kind of like the Adirondack style, made from the same poly material. But anyways, if you have any questions or comments about the picnic table or anything else, don't hesitate to write them in the comments below. Always a reminder to hit subscribe. It helps out the channel an awful lot. And until the next video, bye-bye. So like I said in the beginning, my wife had picked out a style and brand that is really commercial grade. The redneck truck.